What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome back to another video. I hope everybody's doing well. Another beautiful day of delivery. Hopefully you've watched yesterday's video and you'll see the amount of precision we managed to get. I do believe someone in my Discord actually had a successful day as well based off that, so make sure to get yourself in the Discord, join the mailing list, and yeah, let's get straight into things. So you can see I've cleared my charts. They were getting quite messy, and also we're starting to approach the time of the week where I'm expecting things to get very messy with regards to us entering moving closer towards non-farm payroll, and then we have the UK elections tomorrow as well. Now this is the first time I'm witnessing elections in the charts, so it's going to be very interesting to me to see how they move. Nonetheless, let's start on the weekly. We'll look at the PD rates we've currently traded to and where we're expecting the rest of the next day to trade. So we've traded up into our premium PD array, which was around the midpoint of this wick. So let's get that delineated first. Like so. So we've reached our ideal, our suggested high of the week. This is where I wanted to see the high of the week at the beginning of the week. This is where I wanted to see the high of the week get made. However, that kind of bias has changed now because it's Wednesday and we've already traded down into our discount. So I will talk more on that as we drop timeframes, but you can see we came right down into that weekly fair value gap, just missing that 50% level, and then we came off it quite aggressively as well. So right now we're just in this range. Yeah, let's go down to the daily and we can talk more on why it's quite an interesting week. So you can see how we traded into that premium. And then as we moved into Wednesday, we had that beautiful displacement to the downside, running out sell side liquidity below these lows right here and below these lows and into our weekly fair value gap. Now, the fact that we've reached this discount PD array so early in the week is quite, it's interesting to me, because if this was our weekly target and we've already traded to it and it's only Wednesday and we have non-farm payroll and unemployment rates moving into Thursday and Friday, it suggests to me that we're likely going to see another midweek reversal. So this movement down, this large movement down, I am seeing this as the manipulation of the week, and then I'd like to think that we're going to see some expansive movement moving into Thursday and Friday to the upside. Don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting it from here, so I'm not looking at this Wednesday low as the low of the week, but I wouldn't be surprised if Thursday, Friday saw a reversal where we started trading aggressively higher and coming back on all of these stops. Now remember, our monthly bias is bullish, so we wanted to see the low get made as early in the month as possible. This would be enough for that. So nonetheless, let's think about where we want to see price trade. Well, we haven't closed just yet. However, you can see we have a large wick right here, and if we divide this into quarters, you'll see that this 25% level we can use as a premium for price if we are to trade back down into this discount. So let's get that delineated like so. And then once we drop down to the 4 hour, we should be able to find some PD arrays that can help us, navigate price further. So here's how we traded aggressively lower on the back of news, absolutely beautifully towards our fair value gap. And like I said, I don't believe we're done down here. I would like to think that price will dip one more time on Thursday into this, fill the fair value gap, and then leave it. If price manages to do that as well, it'll also be following this concept. I spoke about this concept quite a lot recently, but I'll continue to show you guys when price trades into a significant price level, leaves it, and then digs deeper before trading on higher. This is the exact same thing I'm anticipating happening with this low. So right now, this low I'm looking at like this because this is that weekly fair value gap. This retracement is simply this right here, and I'd like to think that moving into the new day, we will likely dip down there one more time, accumulate those Wednesday low stops, and then we may see a potential reversal moving into the Friday. So on the 4 hour, you'll also see there's a fair value gap right here. Let's get this drawn out in a different color. We'll make that red, and you'll find that the midpoint of that lines up with the low of the weekly fair value gap. So these are now two PD arrays in the discount, and we're bearish, that are overlaying each other. So this is why I want to see price draw down there. You'll also see the premium. Remember, I was saying there's got to be some kind of high made to create a swing to get down there. If we trade back into this fair value gap, I want to see it act as resistance, where the 50% level, which happens to line up with that 25% level from the daily. I hope you guys are following along. Ideally, that's the highest I want to see price go before we take out this low. After we take out this low, I'll be actively looking for a reversal, and I'll be happy to start thinking about bullish ideas. But until then, I want to see lower prices, and that Wednesday low is a little bit sus to me. So let's go to the 1 hour, and you'll see our price traded on lower. Absolutely beautiful delivery. And then you can see I would just entering a slight consolidation. But like I said, as we move into that Thursday, I wouldn't be surprised if price ran down, grab those Wednesday lows, and then I'm looking to see if price can reverse and then eventually get back above this level right here. Let's look at the range of this day as well. And we have the 50% level, and you can see our prices return to that. Again, classic price action. If we trade into a premium in London, again, I'll be looking for shorts on dollars with longs on the pairs, aiming for that Wednesday low. I'm not happy to be bullish on dollar until that Wednesday low is tagged, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much everything on dollar. Let's just mark out these highs, because my attention now really is to this buy side liquidity once we take out that Wednesday low. So let's get these marked out. We've got Wednesday low high, and we got Tuesday high. I am thinking it's going to be quite a big non-farm payroll, considering we had elections this week and we're at the middle of the year. So like, yeah, it should be quite interesting, but I am looking for that Wednesday low. Let's go to the 15-minute. You can see our price has left that and it's continued running higher. There's a bearish order block right here. It'll be interesting to see how price treats that in the new day. Again, ideally, we find resistance in there and then start looking for that Wednesday low before witnessing a potential reversal. Now, I don't believe there is actually news on dollar tomorrow. No, there isn't. But on the Thursday, we have non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate. What does that mean? Well, we do have news with the UK elections. And again, this is my first time witnessing it in the charts. But I'm guessing, or I'm assuming, that's going to have an international effect anyway. Now, the polls for that open at about 2 a.m., I believe, London. And then I don't think we'll find out the actual results until Friday. But nonetheless, it may cause a lot of volatility. So do be very careful moving into that Thursday. But ideally, so long as this is respected, as in we stay below it, I'm happy for that Wednesday low to be targeted. And then, like I say, a nice New York reversal would set us up nicely for that Friday non-farm payroll, with the expectation to run out the entire week. So I hope that all makes sense. Let's now head over to GBP USD. We'll start on the daily here as well. And you'll see how we ran those highs just as expected on the daily. Again, if you haven't watched yesterday's video, make sure to go check it out. And we've traded up into this bearish order block, running out this stop as well. And if we're expecting that Wednesday low to get taken on dollar, that means that we should probably expect that Wednesday high to be taken on pound, which is completely fine as well. Furthermore, let's have a look at these candles. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up close days back to back on pound. ICT says to be careful after 3 up close days, let alone 5. So when we're seeing this, and we're obviously going down, you know, this is all bearish price action here. We're constantly running out buy stops. Price is going to get tired. So remember, if we're expecting this reversal, we need to look for things that can help support that idea. Nonetheless, we are looking at that Wednesday high. Let's go to the 4-hour and see what kind of PD arrays reside above it that may help us frame where price may want to draw to. So let's go to that 4-hour. And you'll see how we just ran out these stops above this swing high right here. Beautifully, buy side liquidity grabbed. And what you'll find here is a nice 4-hour bearish order block. So let's get this order block marked out. And I'd like to think that price can trade into this in the new day to create the high of the week. And then I'd like to see, I want to see price fall away from it. I want to see us leave it. If we trade above it and we run out this high, fair enough, that's fine. Like, it's not the end of the world. Ideally, I want to see this gap left open, because that would act as a breakaway gap. Also, the fact that this high right here has run this little high, very, very minute, and very minuscule. But my point is the fact that I've seen that, so long as we respect this bearish order block, basically, I'm happy to be heavily bearish on pound, because this is like a level of mitigation. I'll explain more on that moving into tomorrow, based off how we take out that Wednesday high if we do. But my point is, there's no, for as far as I'm concerned, if we are bearish on the higher time frames like the weekly and the monthly, there's no need for price to get above this bearish order block. If it does, it will simply use it as support and we'll think about these highs. But I don't want to see us trade through this ideally. Once we do take out that Wednesday high and we're in this range, I'm looking at that 50% level, and then after that we can start looking at daily lows. So if you're ever going short and you're at a high premium and you're trying to understand where we can aim for, daily lows and relative equal lows should be our targets, such as this beautiful consolidation down here. But like I said, I doubt we're going to see that until Tuesday with the non-farm payroll and such. But nonetheless, let's go to the 1 hour and have a look at those daily lows I was talking about. So we've had manipulation, we've had expansion to the upside, but like I said, I don't think we're quite finished, which is completely fine. And the fact that we've made this high and we've already traded our range. So if we look at, let me show you. So if we look at measured ranges, ICT's taught this a few times, which is when we look at the range of the move down and then cast it upwards, you'll see that we've only just traded to half of it, which is another reason we want to see if pound can reach that premium. The fact that it's done all this before Thursday and Friday is what is adding to my confidence with wanting to see a reversal. It's as simple as that. Typically, weeks will consolidate on the Wednesday and then expand higher Thursday, Friday if it was to be a simple up-close week. But because of the amount of manipulation, the elections, the non-farm payroll, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw a Thursday or Friday reversal. So that's why I'm anticipating and just waiting on it. Nonetheless, we should definitely have these daily lows marked out. So we have this as a Wednesday low right now. So I'd look for this. If we get that reversal we want, I'll be looking at this low. And then if we run that low, then it will be these relative equal lows, which also lines up nicely with the Tuesday low as well. So very simple, 15 minutes right here, beautiful expansion to the upside, very easy going price action. And if you watch yesterday's video, you'll know that we called pretty much the high. Here are some relative equal highs and a consolidation as well. Consolidation is another reason why we expect price to find resistance here, because if we're bearish, it should hold price, it should protect it. So it'll be very interesting to see if we run that or if we find resistance at it. So that's everything on pound. And ideally that high does get made during the London session. That might be after back off news. You know, we can use this to our advantage. Let's go and finish up on Euro USD. We'll start on the daily here we'll start on the weekly here as well, see how we traded. And you can see we haven't actually created a low of euro. We have a slight low, but you know, that's not proficient. That's another reason why I'd like to think that price is just going to whip back on itself and not leave that hanging around like that. Nonetheless, we traded up into our premium. We traded up into this wick, and if we look at the 50% level, look at that, nailed it. Definitely something to study there. And then there was also this fair value gap which we wanted to see get traded to, but you can see we obviously traded through it, showing quite heavy bullishness, which is interesting. So nonetheless, let's go to the daily, and you can see this is a rejection block level. Why? Because the price traded into it. What happened? Well, we got rejected. Now what was interesting is that we did take out this high, which is nice to see. And we should expect that Wednesday high to get taken. But what we may find is that we may see divergence in moments like these. If we're going to get a big reversal, it's moments like these where we need to start comparing to pound and dollar, because we might find that pound runs its Wednesday high, dollar runs its Wednesday low, but we may then see that euro fails to take that, and that will again add to our confluence. So I'll be watching this high, although ideally it doesn't take the high, because that will add to our confluence. If it does, that's fine. But it'll be interesting to see if it fails to do that, and that we can use that again to our advantage. And where would we start aiming for? Daily lows. So this low, implied fair value gap, and again the low of the week, which hasn't really been made. But let's go to the 4 hour and we can get a better look at price. Here's those relative equal highs. Now we did just about snap it. Again, price can happily run it through that. If that's the case, I'll be looking at this bearish order block to send price lower. So let's get that marked out. So if we do run these relative equal highs, which are looking very clean, as we run up there, I'll be looking at that bearish order block to provide resistance. As price is doing that on euro, I'll be looking for GBP to reach its bearish order block, and I'll be looking for dollar to be trading down into its fair value gap. Simple as that. They need to be in line with each other. If not, it'll get a little bit messy. But nonetheless, these relative equal highs are looking very clean, and to be honest, it's looking like those highs will get run after all. Even though on the daily I was stating it doesn't have to, but it's just a matter of waiting and seeing. Let's go to the 1 hour, and we can look at the same measuring tool again. So again, if we look at the volume, and you can see if we double that up, so we've moved this much lower for quote unquote manipulation, expansion. We haven't quite reached the high yet of where we're supposed to go to. It should be at least -1. So that's why moving into Thursday, I'd like to think that high will get made, and you can see that lines up nicely with our 4 hour bearish order block as well. So very possible, but nonetheless, I'm moving into Thursday wanting to see rallying, but a reversal form at some point that can help us think about that Wednesday and Tuesday low. So that's everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash subscribe, join the mailing list, join the Discord. Stay safe, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.